call the benevolent beings of light, archangels, and ascended masters to guide and inspire us during this forum. Our forum's vision is to bring the understanding, tools, discipline, and support for those seeking to enter the straight and narrow path, the road less traveled, that will lead us along effectively and steadily through the ascension process. Integration of the human experience with our divine origin is moving us full circle to achieve our divine potential. So be it, and amen.
Life is too short to wake up in the morning with regrets. So love the people who treat you right. Forgive the ones who don't. Believe that everything happens for a reason. And if you get a chance, take it. If it changes your life, let it. Nobody said it would be easy. They just promised it would be worth it. Wonderful advice. Great quote. Thank you so much. So, your spirit animal. Now, first we need to look at both ends of the spectrum. When you're working at the high end of your month, the gifts of your month, let's say April, because that's my birthday month, these animals are helping you reach that potential. It doesn't mean you already are functioning under those great aspects that they bring to you. So if you're on the low end, which we all start on, we have to work our way up, and these animals come in to help you with the strengths of their gifts that they bring with them. So I reflect on people that I know in my life in these months. So I know quite a few people in January. My mother was born in January, and she was definitely not the wise wolf. The wise wolf came to her to help her to get to her wisdom. She was a worrier. She was on the low end of the January. The January people are the ones that have to know. And she did want to know. And the wolf was there to help her with that wisdom. But she was not ready for it because she had to work through the lower aspects of herself, the shadow in her. And she never quite got where she wanted to be, but she did work on it. Those that I know that are in the high end of the January traits, they are very interesting people, a lot of teachers, a lot of people who are sharing information are in the January group, and very good people to have in a corporation or in your business of any kind. February, I had a cousin who was a mystical owl, let me tell you, and she could see things. She was a visionary, and she had tremendous insight, just like the owl. And the owl, I always related it to her for some reason, completely not knowing what that even meant. And my best friend from when I was a little girl all the way through school, she was a February, and she was dealing with the opposite. She was trying to get rid of the shadow that she had within her so that she could come into her wisdom. And so I know both ends of that spectrum as well. My daughter is the free-spirited deer. I have to laugh and smile when I was listening to the definition, because she is truly the deer, the graceful deer, walking through the magical world of pain and suffering and somehow keeping an elegant sense of herself and dignity through it all. And I do know quite a few March people that when I first met them, they were on the low end, really trying to work their way beyond the base energies that they had come in with. And quite a few March friends of mine did make it quite a ways and did wonderful with the troubles that they came in with, that they had to work through, and really found their place. And the deer would represent them at that point. Many times, because they all come into our yard all the time because we live in the woods, do I have eye contact with deer? And they're very, very special animals. They really are. They're skittish, but they have reasons to be. And those that aren't skittish have reasons because they've got used to being around people, and they're definitely not afraid. Now, the courageous bear, that is the definition of me. I am the mother bear. Everybody's always said that ever since I've been young. And I will protect anybody that I know and that I love and that is with me to my death. That is the kind of person I am. When you're born on the 9th or within the week of, or on either side of the 9th of the month, the first maybe 2 weeks, you are a typical Aries courageous bear. If you're born at the end of March and later in the month, you start picking, later on, you pick up the Taurus energies, and the month before you pick up, I think it's Pisces. So the courageous bear is a very good definition of most of the Aries people I know, and or April people. And it is quite interesting as I watched myself evolve into the fullness of this bear. Because as a kid, I don't know, I knew I had the strength, but did I express it? No. I was the silent one, kept everything inside. But it's a very strong month, and anybody that's in April, baby, they're really good at starting things. Not so good at finishing things until they get to the higher end of the spectrum. The May, the nurturing swan, is my sister. She definitely is not nurturing. And she came in to learn how to nurture herself and anybody else that she has in her life. She had no idea what it would be to open her heart to anybody. She was very shut down. And I don't know because I don't really see her. She's in Florida. But speaking to my niece, she's basically the same person, still too afraid to love herself and start to nurture herself so she could start to open up to other people and love them too. I do know May people other than her, very strong, very set in their way, kind of dig their heels in when they have to. But boy, they can get the job done. The social butterfly in June. I don't really know any females that were born in June, except maybe there's some here. But I've known men that were born in June. And they really, some of them did fit the scene. They loved the party. They loved to be out there. And they got along with just about anybody. So you girls will have to, and you guys will have to educate me on the female June people. July is my son, the lion. He definitely fits the cue. Not that he's completely on the high end of that. However, he would give his life for those that he loves. Very protective lion. The female July people are very strong as well. Very strong. And they love to be out there in the limelight. The August majestic eagle, that's my Charlie. The August people have a lot of the July traits in them too, depending on where they are on the spectrum. But my Charlie goes towards the end of the month, so he's more a Virgo than he is an August person, a Leo. September, my friend that lived to be 100, she was a typical September person. Everything was slow, meticulous, and she never gave up. She would make anything work. She would bring people up out of the depths of their horror and their sadness and their troubles. She had a tremendous insight on personality and body language and understanding people on a very deep level, just reading their energy. She was quite a sage. And then I know others that were born in September that really were on more of a lower side of it, where it was more about them and it had to be fair for them. Everything had to be balanced for them, more so than looking out from themselves and bringing the gifts to the other people. So there's always that dichotomy between the two. October's my favorite month in the whole year. It is such a magical place. And when I was in Africa, I got to meet a panther at night on the path, and he was very mystical. Nobody hardly ever saw a panther. In fact, because they're so black, all you see is their eyes in the light, and you don't even know what you're looking at. They are very mysterious. And I know somebody that comes to the forum that is an October baby, very much their own person, very much an individual, and had to be very strong to get to this point to actually make it through their life. I honor the October born. November, my father was a November baby. He was on the low end throughout his whole life. But there was a dignity to him in it was there, and I saw it. But the October, November, and even September, they have so much stuff that they come in with. There is so much they have to go through. And the strength that they have from these animals is the only way that they get through it, because they have so much karma they brought in with them. Very, very hard, right up to the November, very difficult month. And then you have your December. My younger grandson is December. My older grandson is December. My younger one is January. And this older one is definitely just like that. It isn't always fun to be with them because they're so playful, they never know when to temper it down. There's a time to be playful and there's a time to be serious. So that's something they have to learn. So these animals teach us to be on the high end of our month, to be at our higher frequency, to let go of all of the shadow of that month and what it brings with it, and why we came in on those months. So understand that the animal doesn't just take over. The animal is there to guide and assist. Guide and assist. Now you can listen, ignore, or join. You have those choices. You don't have to take the gifts that they give you. But I want you to know that these animals, although they come with you and stay with you your whole life, there are other animals that will be coming in at all times, and they bring a gift that you need at that very moment. With me, April, although I'm the bear for sure, I also always had a lion with me. And this lion gave me a lot of things that I didn't get from the bear. A lot more, I would say, more depth of reasoning things out instead of being reactive like the bear is. The bear will take your head off in 2 seconds flat without thinking twice, where the lion will use a lot of thought and really determine if you're a threat or not. And that's the difference between the two. So I was very happy that I had both of them with me all this time. And others, you'll see an animal when you're driving along the road, or when you're sitting in the park, or wherever you go. Let's say you go to the beach often, like Christine does. You get to see the dolphins, you get to see other sea mammals, and they're bringing a gift to you that day. It's a wonderful thing. Lorraine has the dolphins come in where she lives too. So really be watching for the animals, the little rabbits in the garden, or a chipmunk or a squirrel. I always open up a spiritual definition of what that animal is bringing me that day. And boy, I'll tell you, it is spot on 90% of the time. So realize that in their silent showing up, they're bringing you a gift of awareness that there is something that they can bring to you, or just to be aware of what their symbolism is bringing. By looking up, you can find it on YouTube. You can type in on the web and say spiritual meaning of seeing an owl, and it will be given to you. An owl's been living in the woods near our house, and living right near my bedroom window. And every night I hear him calling. Beautiful. He's very big, because how deep his voice is. And in the mornings, he finishes off and then he goes on his way. And I didn't hear him this morning. So the message that he brought to me was taken in, and I appreciate it very much, and honor and respect what he brought. Always realize nothing happens by chance. It isn't like, oh, well, I saw a butterfly and it landed on my finger. No, that butterfly came with a message for you. Everything does. So start looking at what came to you and why. Because it's a message, it's a gift from the earth and from the universe and from the animal itself that loves you. Take this in. This is information. We're so distracted with the noise, knowing what's going on in the world. This is what we need to know, because this is specifically for us. This was brought to us on purpose, and it has meaning for you on the same day. Sometimes it will absolutely change the course of what you would have done in the next day or later that evening. Take it to heart. From a sand crab to an eagle. Take it to heart. Look it up. See why he came. See what the message is. See what gift was given to you. To me, this is the real deal. These are the signs of nature that we're being given by God. We don't need to listen to the news. We'd be in the middle of the situation if it was for us. We're never left out of what we need to know. But these messages that the animals bring, that's what we need to know. That was pertinent to us specifically. Maybe nobody else got to see what you saw. These are the gifts that God gives us. These are the things that will change your life, change the way you deal with things. You'll look inside yourself deeper. You'll want to understand more of what that animal brought to you. Everything has meaning. Everything that's said, everything that moves, everything that breathes brings a message. The wind talks to you. This morning there was clouds in the sky, and I said, I only have this much time to do my prayers. I want to be in the sun. I asked the spirit, the sleuths in the sky, to move the clouds so I could have the sun within a matter of a minute and a half. Move this whole mass of clouds out of the way so that I could have the sun for the half hour I had left to pray. Talk to the universe. It's listening to you. The animals feel the love that you send to them and the gratitude. The flowers and bushes and trees, they respond to your love. Love is all that there is, and everything thrives from that love. You are the love in the world. Take the responsibility of being the steward on the planet. You are here to bless everything that blesses you, and things that aren't blessing anyone. It's you that blesses it into the light. That's why we're here. That's our only job. Until we become love and radiate it, whether we're thinking of it or not, whether we have the moment of aha that I should be blessing something or not, you will be radiant light. It will touch everything within quite a while, mileage of you. Mileage. That's how big it gets. Until you encompass the earth like a Christ. All you got to do is make room for it. How do we do that? Unload the shadow. Your greatest gift on the planet is for you to be in a state of gratitude, an attitude of gratitude, morning, noon, and night, whether you're going through a physical, mental, or emotional trauma. Be in a state of gratitude, knowing that as you go through this, you're healing something within you. And then it'll be done. Don't look at it as pity, or I'm dying, or I'm losing it, or I'm stuck. You're not. You're not. It's coming up to go away so that more light can enter into every cell, atom, molecule, to transform you into a light body, to eliminate the shadow completely, so that there won't be another tear that comes out of your eye, except for the tears of joy and love. That's why you're here. You're not here to save anyone but you. You're not here to turn the world around and fix it. We've got enough on our hands to fix ourselves, to become our potential, to be the light in the world. Do you know what that means? It's everything. It's everything. Nothing is more important than that. And as you start using all these gifts that are being given to you to understand yourself better, you will very quickly move through the darkest hours. You will be free. For I assure you, nothing out there is keeping you from being free. Only what's inside you. Only what's inside you is the prison, the old way, the fear, the way we manage ourselves, and others. What we feel about ourself, truly, how we pick on ourself, always picking on ourself, saying jokes about ourself, not nice. Our elemental body's doing the best it can to serve us. It needs to be loved and appreciated. It's got a life of its own. When you step out of it, yes, it will pass away. It will. But it carried you for a long time while you were in the same deep sleep you see a lot of people walking around in. And for that, we need to be very grateful. We kept building this body and pulling it all back together again. And how I know we always call it back together again, even though we can be a man, a woman, we can be tall, thin, short, whatever. We still bring it all back. And how I know is because it's the cellular memory that's still within that body from other lifetimes when we used the same material that we drew back to us. Do you realize who you are? You are divine beings. You can create just like God. Just like God. But we end up creating negative, dark, shadowy stuff, as well as the light, the positive, the life affirming. Are we ready to be our potential? Tell your higher self what you want, and your higher self will make it happen. Now, people that believe that soon as you say, I want to be my potential, that you're just going to come into yourself, that is not true. What your higher self will do is bring everything up from the basement of your being that you need to unload so that you can be filled with the light and become your potential. So when you say, I've been praying and I've been asking God and I've been begging God for this to be that, to be into my power, we can't be in our power when we're not in control of our emotions, when we still do what we used to do, and we haven't gotten over ourselves. We haven't learned yet. We must be disciplined by asking our higher self to help us, asking your guides and master teachers, show me the way. I want this with all my heart. I don't want to do this the way I'm doing it right now. I want my life to be fulfilled. And it will be. But you must look at it from the 5D perspective, that it doesn't just happen. We have to empty out the things that are blocking it, and then it can happen. If one person on the planet can do it, you can do it. And there's plenty that are. Plenty. I know them. I've seen them. And I know it's true. So know who you are, a divine being of light. And when you don't act in the way that you feel is divine, do something about it. Change your mind, refuse to do it the other way, and step up to the plate. These animals, the birds, nature itself will support you in every way. But we need to look up and see what they're bringing to us. Take an interest in it. It means so much. Make the time for this. Those that are working, I know it's harder. Those that aren't, no excuse. No excuse. There's nothing more important than healing yourself. I promise you, it's going to happen. And you'll want it to happen sooner than later, because there is way little time at this point. And everything gets harder to get through because of what's happening, the way the matrix is disintegrating. So it's making it that much harder to do the work. Find joy in it. Realize what it's giving you back for the efforts that you make. Call the animals in. Be so grateful for their presence, their holy presence in your life. I saw my little friend, the chipmunk, for the second time. And I was asking him if he brought his little girlfriend back with him. And he didn't tell me. But if I see little babies running around, I'll know. Nobody will have to tell me then. So, with all my heart, I suggest that please enjoy the animals that come to you. Use them well. Be grateful for them. They'll come back again and again. They want to help you, and they have great wisdom attached to their presence. And it's very easy to look up what they represent. Believe me, in 2.5 seconds, you can find it on the web. So, your spirit animal is waiting for you to address, acknowledge, and to love. For those that are coming in to hear this discourse, I just want to tell you that we are not going to be attaching the video or the song to the discourse in segment 1 any longer. And so we will have the link for the video so that you could watch the animal video that we watched tonight and the song that we're going to hear very shortly. Okay. You won't be able to hear that either. That's because of copyrights. And so I encourage you to go on to the YouTube and listen to the discourse and to the video and the song that's there. Also, there is a quote every week as well. OurDivineOrigin.com, and go on there and find the information that you need on the YouTube, and you'll see the list of many, many discourses that have been given. Okay. So I turn the mic back to Tanya.
Thank you, Barbara. That was really an enjoyable topic.
Thank you.
Christine, we're going to stop the recording before you play the song. Thank you so much.
So seeing through my eyes, let me tell you, for those of you that don't believe in yourself, that those of you that pick on yourself, those of you that feel that you know the things you don't do well and you don't like it, just stop. You are amazing. You have nothing to prove to anyone. You don't need to be stroked by anyone. You just need to love yourself, honor yourself, respect yourself. And when you do, you'll know it, because you'll never need to hear another person's compliments, although it's a beautiful thing to hear and you take it graciously, but it won't make you feel all puffed up. Oh, somebody sees how beautiful I am. It's all about you seeing it in yourself. So, see the design that you are. God designed you. You're perfect and beautiful, holy and blessed. That's who you are. Thank you. So my closing tonight for your spirit animal. I want you to realize the importance of all life all life, human, animal, plant, everything. Everything is energy. Everything is alive. Everything has an aura. The mountains, a little stone, a crystal, everything has life force of some type in it. It's all vibrating at a different frequency. As we come to honor ourselves, it makes it easier to honor all life, everything in creation and beyond creation. We're here to be the ones to hold that frequency, like the indigenous people have done always, always, honored and respected all life in any form that it takes. The animals in our life are precious gemstones. They're here to nurture us, to love us, to guide us, to help us in every way. But we need to acknowledge them. We need to feel it in the depths of our soul. We need to be grateful and loving and return that flow of love. That's what we need to do. Everything is in circles here. It all circles back, round and round. What you send out makes its way back to you. If it's in beautiful, life-affirming energy, it blesses you. If it wasn't, it brings you to your knees. That's your holy moment to let that all go, bless it away. Give it back to God to be recycled as perfect, pure energy again. We are divine beings. We need to act like it. We need to live it. We need to move with it. We need to bring it to others. We need to show them how divine they are. Everybody knows how yucky we are, but do we know how divine we are? Do we know what that really means? What does it mean to be divine? It means to express love. Period. No other explanation required. You are the light in the world. The animals are the light in the world. Everything having to do with nature is perfect and beautiful. If we would just leave it be and let it do what God has created it to do. It hasn't forgotten. Our instincts are the ones that are off. We've detached from the earth. Let's join it again. We need her. We need her energy pumping through us to ground us so we can focus, so that we can get where we're looking to go. We need her as much as she needs us, as we are the conduits of light that is pumping through us into her. Again, everything is circle. Everything is working together for good. When we forget and we get distracted in this drama going on here, we break that connection. We can't anymore. We can't. This is the time to come into ourself in our fullness with the power of God moving through us, blessing everything by just standing there. You're just standing there, being, not doing, just being. There you are, there is God. holy ground because you're standing on it. Do you understand that? Who you are? Because when you do, everything shifts in your life. It has nothing to do with doing all kinds of, ceremonies and practicing old traditions that just have nothing to do right now with where you need to go. And guess where that is? Deep inside yourself. Deep inside yourself. And look at the light that you are in there. Feel the life moving through your veins. Feel it. Because everything is all dependent on how you feel, not what you think. Not what you think, what you feel. It tells the tale of everything. Everything. When you need to think, you will. You will. You're working, you're thinking. But at the same time, don't forget to feel. And acknowledge how you feel. Acknowledge what is going on, how you're responding or reacting to someone or a circumstance. And just keep blessing everything. Keep blessing it. Lift the frequency of it with that magnificence that you are. There is nothing more holy than you. Every creation out there that isn't of our species wants to be us. We are so special. And no matter what's happened to our DNA, it's all coming back in alignment to the original creation, because nothing can get in the way of God. Nothing. And we belong to God. You see? This is all part of our transformation. And we are in it with both feet now. And there's no turning back. And you don't want to, believe me. This is the holy moment we've waited for. Centuries of going through this incredibly difficult matrix. And here you are, still standing, you beautiful holy beings, still standing. You are so powerful, so strong, so competent, so capable. There's nothing you can't do. Just tell your higher self what you want, and then let it all come together. It's magical and holy, and it will happen the way that you desire your life to be. Do you want to be in 3D? No judgment. You want to be in 5D? Let's do what we need to do. Let's do it together, hand in hand, looking right into each other's eyes. Anyone coming to this gathering that we're going to have is going to see something that they didn't see ever before. When people of like mind, like hearts, with one thing in mind, is to become their potential. Wait till you see what happens when the circuit is complete, when we're together. It's going to be mind-boggling. These are the days we need to be in groups, not just any group, not just groups we're used to going to, not just being with, people just to be with people, but being with people on the same page, going in the same direction, desiring the same thing, wanting to be part of this magnificent plan of God's. Now you're talking. Now you're talking my language. We have waited for this to come together, and we weren't ready yet. And now God's brought us together, and together we're going to do this. We're going to empower each other through the love and light of God. So I say unto you, my dear friends, now is your holy moment. Make the best of it. Use it wisely. And every week when we come together, we will empower each other further, move forward, go deeper, go higher, and become the potential that we have. You are the great hope in this world. And as each one of you come up each increment, you're taking others with you. I am honored to be your friend. And I look forward to being with you. Thank you so much. I love you with all my heart. Amen.
We are deeply grateful for this forum. We thank those in attendance for your attention, for your wonderful questions, future topic suggestions, and stories that touched our hearts and opened our minds to new possibilities. Our collective energy has filled this forum with light and love for each other. We are so grateful that each of us brings guides and angelic beings to the forum, raising the frequency ever higher. We are grateful for the assistance, inspiration, and guidance from the benevolent beings overseeing our forum. Know we are all deeply loved and richly blessed. Amen.